All right, I will get us started. Welcome, everyone, to the Association of Independent Maryland and DC Schools College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each institution will have 6 minutes to share more, but they will be around for the entire session to answer any questions you may have. My name is Chelsea, and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to them at any time. This is one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at striscan.com/ames. And I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, and that is Purdue University.
Well, they're up, everyone. Thanks for attending. My name is Tiffany Carter, and I am the Washington, D.C. regional rep for Purdue University. Again, I appreciate you all being here with us this evening to learn more about our institutions. So in terms of Purdue's location, we are located in West Lafayette, Indiana, and that's pretty central to the state and also to the Midwest. We are close to some major cities in the Midwest, about an hour from Indianapolis, 2 hours from Chicago. You can see what our profile is. So we are on the larger side. We actually have over 37,000 undergraduate students and a pretty good breakdown between our Indiana residents and our non-residents, including international population. So we have students from all 50 states as well as over 130 countries. And this is just a snapshot of some of the things that you can do while at Purdue to make that experience your own. So we do have undergraduate research that is available for all of our students, including our first year students. We have an entrepreneurship and innovation certificate. This is definitely for our business-minded students, but it can be added to any degree plan. And the neat thing about that is that you will help develop your communication, collaboration, leadership skills, which are really vital and important to any industry that you decide to go into. And then we do have a university-wide honors college. This is an opportunity to experience interdisciplinary learning, leadership development, global engagement, as well as undergraduate research. And then we have Degree Plus and Degree 3. These are opportunities that came out of our College of Liberal Arts. It allows for students to earn a second degree from the College of Liberal Arts and still graduate within the 4-year time frame. Or Degree in 3 is an opportunity to complete some of our programs in 3 years instead of the traditional 4. And these are the steps that make up our application process. Our application is available on the Common App, and it goes live every August 1st. There are Purdue-related questions. So why Purdue? Why the major? Purdue is a direct admit institution. And then in terms of your application, you can complete that entirely by yourself. So you can self-report your courses and grades and your test scores. Though for the 2023 application cycle, Purdue will once again be test flexible. And that means that our preference is that we receive a test score from all students, but we will not negatively penalize a student for applying without their scores. And so Purdue has over 200 plus majors that are broken down into 11 academic colleges. We're best known for our engineering program. So we do have first year engineering, which is the starting point for all of our future engineers on campus. But again, we have over 200 plus majors that are available. As I mentioned before, we are a direct admit institution. So you will select a first choice major and a second choice major on your application. And then in terms of evaluating our applications, it is a holistic process and it's done by humans. So one of us in the admissions office will take a look at your application. With it being holistic, there are about 17 admission criteria that we focus on. Most importantly, your courses and grades, the rigor of your curriculum compared to your opportunity at your high school, what your extracurricular activities are, your personal strength, your personal statement, and the strength of your why Purdue, why major responses as well. And then here is a breakdown of our deadlines. Again, our application goes live every August 1st. We do have early action deadline and regular decision deadline. Our early action deadline is non-binding, but we encourage all students to apply early because you'll receive best consideration for admission into your first or second choice major and will automatically consider you for merit-based scholarships as well. Early action is also the deadline to apply to our honors college. And then you can see our regular decision deadline is January 15th. Students who apply early action will receive their decision back on January 15th. And then students who apply regular decision will hear back by March 31st at the very latest. And then you can see the other applicable deadlines that we have available as well. And I just want to wrap up by saying that we have some awesome opportunities for students to come out and connect with us and explore campus. So we do have our programming days available, introducing Purdue, which is available for our prospective students. And these events will run through the summer as well as into the fall as well. We do have our daily visits as well. That includes a campus tour, a mission information session, and things of that nature. But we do have a mailing list that I'll include the link into the chat. So if you haven't yet shared your contact information with us, you can do that so that you'll stay aware of updates, any deadlines, and things like that. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, next up we have Lafayette University.
All right, everyone. Hello, my name is Bree Braswell, and I'm representing Lafayette College. We are located in Easton, Pennsylvania. We're a small private liberal arts college and a D1 institution as well. Some actual very exciting news. Today, we just announced our new men's basketball coach. So Division I athletics is definitely important to us. We have about 25% of our students are student athletes. As you can see, some of the photos of other leopards cheering each other on. But what I really love about Lafayette, and I'm kind of biased because I am an alum, a class of 2016, I really appreciate that Lafayette has so much to offer. So with 2,600 students, we are an all undergraduate campus. That means that all of the opportunities, whether they are research-based, whether they allows you to create your own club, to be on different teams, this is a place where you can exercise that kind of freedom and that kind of exploration. Our academics are very strong, and you have a smaller cohort of people that you're learning with and from. Our student faculty ratio is 10-1. So really you can be in a class that has 8 people or maybe 20. We are not a school that's going to have a lot of those lecture-based courses that have hundreds of people there. And this is really where you get to determine what kind of learner are you? Where do you learn best, and what is the best environment for you? And the students here are ones that are go-getters, ones that want to be connective, want to be collaborative. We are a highly selective institution, but one that when you get here, it is collaborative for you to learn. We are incredibly invested in our artists, our scientists, our writers, our engineers. We are a top engineering school within the liberal arts, so that's also a really unique factor about us. And in terms of our academic divisions, when you apply to Lafayette, there's no school that you are specifically applying to. You say, I want to go to Lafayette, and you could note engineering, you could note geology or psychology, but you could also write undecided. And students who are undecided are actually a liberal arts college dream, because we know that you'll come here and you will explore. Also, one thing about Lafayette is how involved students are. I think a lot of people ask me, what is the typical Lafayette student? It's somebody who is going to be involved. You're not just going to class and then maybe going to the library or going into your room to do your homework. We have over 200 organizations and clubs that students are a part of and that students create. You can see some of them here. We have Greek life. We have students who are connecting with each other on our farm, sustainability efforts, especially a lot of the ways that your generation, our value-based generation, is connecting with society, with Earth. We're seeing a lot of social entrepreneurs, social impact scholars, as well as sustainability champions. So that is something that we're definitely noticing as a trend that is seeing itself rooted in all of the academic divisions that we have, which include engineering, natural sciences, social sciences, and the humanities. Within that as well, of our clubs and organizations, that is a way for you to become your own when you go to college. It is all about getting to explore who you are. Our namesake, Marquis de Lafayette, had a lot of different values that he held. Equality and humanity and justice were just to name a few. And we see that in the students that we get here. As I said, we are in Easton, Pennsylvania, and we're so close to Philadelphia and New York City that a lot of students use that as, okay, I have my home at Lafayette, but also I can go to the city and explore. I can go to an art museum. I can have class there, as some of our professors will have that experience for their students. It also may be that you connect with our Gateway Career Center to get to work with them to find internships and jobs. Students are all over. They're working for Google, they're working for Amazon, they've started their own companies. I know people who are at banks and are teachers and are engineers and really changing the game because of the experience that you have here that doesn't have you in just one thing. So when you say, I want geology, but I'm also interested in art, you can do that. You have an advising network. There is an entire infrastructure here, from our deans to your faculty advisors, to your peers, your peer mentors that want you to succeed and that want to connect with you at all times. And then lastly, just to kind of tell you about our admissions process, we are an early decision school, so we do not have early action. Early decision is November 15th. And then we do have an early decision 2 round, which is February 1st. Other than that, our pool is typically through the regular decision, which is January 15th. We are holistic readers in that we are looking at everything and not just my eyes. I am the person who does Maryland. My wonderful colleague does DC, and we take the DMB together, but we are not the only ones who will read your application. It'll be multiple members of our staff because we want to ensure that we get to know you, that you are providing us a window into your lives. And so we get the chance, we get the honor to be able to do that and to advocate for you. So we're looking at your essay, your recommendations. I also highly recommend that you look how can you visit, whether it's virtual or in person? How can you do an interview? Again, whether it's virtual or in person. What are you doing to show that you are interested in Lafayette? We're a school that is highly connected to students who will show and demonstrate their interest here. And then lastly, we are test optional at the moment, and for the next year we will be as well, depending upon landscapes that may or may not change, but you could always find that information on our website. Please feel free, I will make sure to put my email address in the chat. You can always connect with me or the Meet Your Team on our website, but I hope you enjoyed just learning a little snippet about Lafayette and how you can find your spots here.
Thanks so much for that. All right, next up we have Stevenson University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Holly Winklebauer. I am one of the admissions counselors here at Stevenson. A couple of my territories in the Maryland area are Montgomery County, Baltimore City, a couple of the other Baltimore County schools, and then Washington, D.C. So definitely I will have the chance to get to meet some of you guys if you guys ever decide to come to tour. Just a couple quick facts about Stevenson is we are 30 minutes away from downtown Baltimore, so located in Owings Mills, Maryland, which is more of a suburban area. This is a great location for our students to be able to go do internships, go to different events in the Baltimore area, whether it's going to the Ravens game, the Orioles game. I know a lot of our students like to go to the aquarium as well. So we are D3 in athletics as well. 100% of our careers do offer, 100% of our majors do offer some sort of career exploration. So like I mentioned with the internships, you are required to do an internship, a research project, or a senior capstone before you graduate. So that is a requirement, which really helps all of our students to get that firsthand experience. The average class size is about 17 students, so keeping that smaller class size, helping all of our students to kind of have that one-on-one connection with the professors. So the undergraduate population at Stevenson is around 2,000 students, so it is overall a smaller campus as well, but you still kind of get that college-y feel, as you can see from the picture on screen. Here is a list of all of our current majors that we offer at Stevenson. A couple of the most popular ones are nursing, and we are direct entry for nursing as well, criminal justice, psychology, the business field, and then more recently, cybersecurity and digital forensics and computer information systems have also been rapidly growing here at Stevenson. We do have pre-professional advising programs as well. So if you wanted to go into something like dentistry or pharmacy, you would choose a pre-dentistry or a pre-pharmacy, pre-professional advising track, and then select a different major at Stevenson. And then you would be assigned a specific advisor to help you with the graduate school research, to make sure that all of your prerequisites are met, to do different trainings, different courses, to really help you prepare for your graduate school. Stevenson's application process is fairly simple. We are on the common application, but we also do have our own Stevenson application. Really, whichever one you prefer, they are exactly the same. And it is a free application, either way you choose as well. We do require that you submit an official high school transcript that is sent by your school counselor. And then we do require one of the common application essays and a short response. So we are on rolling admission, meaning that once you apply, you will hear back from Stevenson if you were accepted or not within 2 to 3 weeks of your application. A couple optional things are the letters of recommendation. We do encourage students to submit them if you have them, because it can definitely help you with your admissions process. It helps us just to get to know you a little bit more as a student and as a person as well. We also do have admissions interviews that are optional. This is if, let's say, one of your semesters in school you did not do as well as you had hoped to, and you kind of want to let us know what was going on in your life, if anything was going on. You were able to set up an admissions interview, let us know what was happening, and then we can also factor that into your admissions decision as well. For the fall of 2023 applicants, we are currently test optional. So if you are a fall of 2022 applicant, so a current senior, we are actually test blind, meaning we are not looking at SATs or ACTs at all. But for our current juniors, we are test optional. We have a couple awesome scholarship opportunities. The main one being the merit-based scholarship, which ranges from $10,000 to $21,000 annually. Now, this is solely based on your GPA and academics. So if you are accepted into Stevenson, then you are automatically awarded this merit-based scholarship, and you will find out in your acceptance letter as well. The Presidential Fellowship is a full tuition scholarship, so I definitely recommend students applying for this if you meet the qualifications, which is just a 3.7 GPA minimum. So once you apply for it, you have to complete a project-based application. So if you want to answer the question prompt by writing an essay, a short film, we've had students write songs, we've had students do poems, whatever you think is going to answer the question best, feel free to answer it that way. Then you are reviewed, and if you are selected as a finalist, you come to campus and actually get to interview with us in person. And if you are selected to be one of the final 10 recipients, then you are one of the presidential fellowships and get granted full tuition. We do have leadership scholars and service scholars as well. They are pretty much as they sound. Both of them are going to be focusing more on your leadership skill, your leadership building skills, and your service building skills as well. The theater and visual arts scholarships are specific for those programs. So if you wanted to major or minor in theater, then you are able to apply for the scholarship. Or if you wanted to major in one of our visual arts programs, then you are also eligible to apply for the scholarship. The last one I'm going to touch on is the Founder Scholarship. This one I highly, highly recommend to everybody. It is a $2,000 award and very simple to get. It just requires a campus visit and a specialty scholarship interview. The interview is all about you, so you definitely can't go wrong with it. But we always like to let our students know to still come prepared, dress professionally, and be ready just to talk about you. Here are a couple different ways to visit us. We do have an open house coming up on April 30th. So if you are interested, definitely make sure you go to stevenson.edu/visit to schedule your visit. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have Washington and Lee University.
Hi, everybody. My name is Emma Swab. I am an assistant admissions director here at W&L. I myself am also a graduate of my university, so got lots to say. I will be sure to keep it brief here. In terms of W&L's location, we are located in the beautiful mountains of the Blue Ridge. So as you saw from that first picture, we have a beautiful location. We're nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains, but we like to say that our location is rural, but not remote. So we're only about 2 hours away from Richmond, the capital of Virginia, and about 3 hours away from DC. We're also about an hour from Charlottesville to kind of put us in perspective of where we are. If Charlottesville's right in the center of Virginia, we're just a little bit southwest of there. Our smaller town kind of location really lends itself to some incredibly friendly, welcoming folks who live in and around Lexington. You know, we have a downtown that's about 5 minutes walking from campus. On some areas of campus, you can cross the street and kind of be in Lexington. So it's a very open kind of campus, but the red bricks and white columns are pretty signifying that you're on campus and you're near a campus building. Our main street has everything you need, really, independent stores and coffee shops and restaurants that are all independently owned small businesses. But we also have things like movie theaters. They just recently opened like an arcade downtown as well. So lots of cool things to keep you busy off campus as well as on campus. You can see here that we have a really small kind of undergrad population that's really intentionally built. So we have about 1,822 undergrads and really small class sizes. So I won't read all these facts and stats on this slide, but really I want to focus on what kind of institution we are. So W&L is a small liberal arts college. We like to say we're a liberal arts and sciences university. We've got 76 different majors and minors. In terms of popularity, I would say our history department is really popular, given kind of that we are the 9th oldest college in the US. There's lots of history in and around this area of Virginia. But we also have programs, unlike some liberal arts schools, in engineering. We've got a nationally accredited journalism program, as well as a nationally accredited business school on campus through our Williams School of Commerce, Economics, and Politics. No entry, kind of separate entry to any of those different programs. If you apply to W&L and are admitted, you're welcome to major or minor in any area in which you have interest. Our students also really benefit from our small class sizes. We have 100% of classes that are taught by faculty members. We don't have TAs on campus. We do have a small law school on the back of our campus. There's a Washington and Lee Law School, hence the designation as a university as opposed to a college. But they are certainly not, they don't have time to be TAs. So all of your classes will be taught by faculty members. And we have an 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So that's a true 8-to-1 student to faculty ratio, because we're really focused on giving our undergraduate students the experience that they need here. One unique thing about us as well is our calendar system. We have a 12-12-4 setup. So essentially what our calendar looks like is a pretty traditional fall and winter semester with 12 weeks each. And then everybody is required to come back for what we call our spring term, which is 4 weeks where you take just one class. Our students are really active. One highlight that I always like to put out there is our outing club. W&L has a lot of beautiful surroundings here in the Blue Ridge. There's a river that runs behind campus, the Maury River. Students will go paddleboarding, hiking. About 90% of campus students are members of the outing club, and we're really close to some great locations to get outside. Even if you don't think of yourself as outdoorsy, this campus has a way of kind of drawing you into some of those opportunities. In terms of applying, W&L is a Common App school as well as a QuestBridge partner school. So those are the two ways of applying to W&L. We are also a holistic review admissions process. So again, like some of my colleagues have said here, there are going to be multiple real people reading your file cover to cover here. You know, oftentimes for quite a while. So there will be people reviewing your file. We are a selective institution, just to note that as well. But in terms of our size, what that really gives students access to is to faculty, to opportunities, as well as resources. On the faculty side of things, again, you're going to be in these small classes. Our average class size is 15, and 96% of our classes have fewer than 25 students. So you're really going to get to know your professors. There's no back row in a class that small. You're going to meaningfully engage with the content and get to know these professors as people as well as educators. It's not uncommon to go to dinner at a professor's house, or to be asked to babysit, or to be tapped to do research projects with professors, right? You're their main resource for that as well. So connecting with them is a really important factor of the W&L experience, as is opportunity, right? We know that you all are very busy. Even in the time of COVID, right? You manage to stay engaged with communities, with your passions and your hobbies. So if you have these things you're passionate about, music, sports, you don't need to let those go when you come to college. So we really encourage you to try new things, but also maintain those passions that you already have. Even if maybe you don't want to major in music, but you want to stay in an ensemble, more than welcome to do so here. In terms of resources, WNL is very lucky in that we're able to offer quite a bit to students in the way of resources. We are able to fund opportunities on campus for research and internships, as well as off campus. We don't have deferred maintenance. This is a campus that is kind of always updating things as needed. So we're very lucky in that regard that our university is able to provide funding for student opportunities. One unique thing about WNL is also our commitment to our honor system. That's not we're not the only school to have one, but we do really make this commitment when you enter here to not lie, cheat, or steal. And that's something that really bonds our community together. These are just some examples of what you can do right now as, you know, whatever point in your college search process that you're at. We do have in-person guided tours and information sessions, as well as some virtual options. So feel free to check out that link there to learn some more about WNL or visit. And again, thank you for giving me some time to chat with you about WNL. I'll put my contact info and our mailing list in the chat here as well. But thank you all.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up we have Miami University.
Okay, hello everyone, and thank you again for joining us tonight and for sticking around to hear a little bit about Miami University. My name is Melissa Ward, and I am a regional representative based in Maryland for Miami University. So hopefully, as you go through your college process, I'll have the opportunity to meet some of you if you are interested in Miami at your high school or at a college fair when we're back in person. Oops. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. Miami University is located in Southwest Ohio in a small town called Oxford, which has been ranked consistently one of the top college towns in the nation. Everything is extremely walkable. You can be uptown in a matter of minutes. Uptown is where the restaurants and the little shops are located. However, if you are more interested in getting outdoors or enjoying nature, Miami University is still in a very rural area. We actually have over 17 miles of hiking trails. That's just on our own natural area. That doesn't include the state parks in the region as well. This is just an aerial view of campus, so you can see some of that, you know, the famed brick and the quad there, but you don't have to look too far to see some open green spaces as well. Campus itself is pretty well contained. From this area, so from the DMV, it would probably take you about 8 to 10 hours to drive to Miami University. However, there are direct flights from both Reagan and BWI into Dayton or Cincinnati. Dayton and Cincinnati are both roughly 40 miles from campus, to give you an idea of where we're located. And so here are some stats popping up. I hate that transition thing. So this is, you know, just sort of the at a glance about Miami. So we are at just about 17,000 undergraduate students on campus. So we're, you know, kind of a bigger mid-sized school. I really like this size because you constantly feel like you're meeting new people. However, it's not the size of a city by itself. And so it's kind of a larger mid-sized school. We do have over 120 majors to choose from, over 600 student organizations. We do have 19 Division I athletic teams. We are the Red Hawks. That stat about 2 years on campus, just to clarify that. That means we have a 2-year residency requirement. We do like that our students live on campus for 2 years. For you all, you know, most of you are probably coming to us from the DMV. That's not really an issue. You may not know anyone or be able to secure housing in the area otherwise, but we do have a 2-year housing requirement. Despite being a larger school and having the resources of a larger institution, a lot of things operate like a smaller school would. So our average class size is still just 30 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 17 to 1. These are often statistics you hear repeated at smaller schools. However, we have students who can study in over 90 countries. We actually have our own campus in Luxembourg. So we have a community there. So you can study abroad with other Miami students, with Miami faculty, or you can choose to go to, again, one of about 90 other countries that we have programs with. We have 3 different honors programs. I won't go too in depth here tonight. It would take too long. My biggest piece of advice is to apply by the deadlines, okay? These honors programs are really excellent, but there are strict deadlines. And actually this research number is up to 2,600. So we have about 2,600 students who work on funded research with faculty each year. This number isn't up there, but we do have just about 2,500 graduate students. So we are overwhelmingly an undergraduate institution. So our undergrads do get plenty of opportunities to do research along with faculty. This is just a shot of where those 120 majors are split up into. So we have 6 colleges or schools, and all of the majors are split up, into those areas. All of our programs are really, ranked very highly. I would say our most competitive programs are going to be our Farmer School of Business and our nursing program, which is direct entry. So those 2 you want to pay special attention to, again, with those deadlines, if you're interested in those. On the screen now, you will see our accepted student profile, and actually we have more applications than ever this year, and these numbers will be going up significantly. But this is sort of where our average student falls, between about a 3.5 and a 4.1 GPA. Right now it's about a 27 and up on the ACT. You see the SAT scores there. I can report that for fall of 2023, we will remain test optional. So fall 22, fall 23, test optional. Beyond that, no decisions have been made at this time. I like to point out that, like a lot of the other schools here, actually only about 43% of our students are Ohio residents. So we have a lot of students who are coming from other states like Maryland, DC, Virginia, and then a large international student population as well. And lastly, I just want to end with what I love about Miami is the transparency, and we want to help you plan for your entire education. And for that reason, we have a tuition promise. And what that means is that tuition and fees, that includes room and board, are set and they stay the same for 4 years when you start at Miami. So you get a cohort group, and your tuition fees, tuition, room and board will stay the same for 4 years. That way your scholarship that you receive when you enter retains its value over time. So you can really plan for your entire undergraduate career if you decide to go to Miami. I will be available. I will post my information in the chat for anyone who would like to reach out for any additional questions. And it was a pleasure presenting to you all tonight.
Thank you so much. All right. Next up, we have Villanova University.
All right, good evening, everyone. Let's see if I can get this PowerPoint to work. I would say PowerPoint is not my strongest suit, so we're going to give it a shot. Hopefully you can see this okay, and my notes aren't on the screen. Oh, looks like they might be. Let's see. I think that's better. Chelsea, am I looking good? All right. Well, thank you so much for having me this evening. My name is Allie Smith. I'm one of our senior assistant directors of admission at Villanova University, my alma mater as well. I did my undergraduate degree here, and I stayed on for graduate school and loved it so much that I never really left. So you can definitely say that Villanova felt like home really quickly for me. In fact, if you break Villanova down into some of its parts, Villa and Nova, it actually means new home. And that's something we definitely pride ourselves on. And I know you've heard a lot of different presentations before, and, you know, a lot of the stuff that we say tends to sound the same. So I will try and stay, you know, a little bit away from statistics, things like that. You can definitely read all that online, and I can provide you information on that as well. But I'm going to give you a little bit more of the Villanova experience, you know, batting last. It all starts to blend together. So I will try and do that for you. Let's see, where's my, there we go. Okay, so a little bit of history. We're not quite as, you know, old or historic as WNL, but we are only about, you know, 15 to 20 minutes away from Philadelphia, one of the most historic cities in the nation, at one point the nation's capital. And so we're part of what we affectionately call the Main Line. So back in the mid 1800s, when Philadelphia is founded, you can actually see Philly in the distance. Everyone's bringing their country, you know, bring their homes out into the country. So all these train lines were created, and we live, you know, right on one of those train lines. We have 3 trains on campus that can get you downtown in about 20 to 25 minutes. So we do have that safe, contained campus feel with access to all the bells and whistles that Philadelphia has to offer. I like to call us a Goldilocks school. We're about 6,700 undergraduates, so not giant, not tiny. I know Melissa was saying Ohio is kind of that bigger medium. We're definitely that smaller medium. So you're going to be meeting new people all the time, but by the time you walk into a class sophomore, you're always going to know someone. So, you know, medium-sized classes and medium-sized school, very walkable, 5 to 10 minutes in between academic buildings, 15 to 20 minutes from top to tail, depending on how motivated your pace is. One thing that I think makes us distinctive is we are the only Augustinian university in the nation, Augustine Catholic University. But I say that, but I also say that although we are proud of our Augustinian heritage, we are equally, if not more so, proud of our inclusivity. You do not have to be Catholic to go to Villanova. If you had asked me, you know, when I was in, you know, sophomore, junior in high school, if I saw myself attending a religiously affiliated university, I would have told you probably not. But after my visit to campus, which I encourage everyone to do, I really got that feeling that, you know, the community was really welcoming, and they really practiced these values that you see on the screen. That's our seal. And I think who we were, who we are, and who we hope to continue to be is kind of best symbolized through that. So that's Veritas, Unitas, and Caritas, thinking critically, acting compassionately, and succeeding while serving others. So that Veritas piece is kind of that nuts and bolts of what it means to be an academic institution. Classes, collaborative, we are definitely, you know, collaboration over competition. Our professors want you to love learning. They want you to do well. Office hours are a big deal at Villanova. All of our professors have them. You're not going to have TAs teaching in your classes. So definitely take advantage of that. Unitas is that community feel. It's going to be everyone's favorite thing on campus. If you talk to one of our students, they're going to say that the community is their favorite thing. We show that through our housing. So we guarantee 3 years of on-campus housing with the option for a 4th year if you're interested. I lived on campus all 4 years and would move back in a heartbeat if they were inviting 32-year-olds. So it's a great way to live and learn amongst each other and really enjoy kind of being on that collegiate campus for those years. And lastly, if you take Latin, some of you might, you would say, Allie, Caritas means charity. And I would say, yes, Latin scholar, technically it does. But we at Villanova say love, because St. Augustine tells us to set love as criterion for all that we do. And we think we show our love most through acts of service and giving back. About 75% of our students are involved in service in some capacity. It is not a have to, it is a want to. There are no mandatory service hours, no punch card. It's just kind of, you know, hallmark of the Villanova experience to get involved with giving back. Very much the, you know, social structure on campus is that. So if you learn nothing else from me today, I hope you learned these 5 things about Villanova. Number 1, we are going to be academically excellent. Number 2, we're going to offer you personal attention. Number 3, we have a really strong sense of community. Number 4, we have a passion for service. And number 5, we're going to set you up for lifelong success. That's kind of what we promise to our students. And I hope that's what you take away from what I'm going to take you through really, really quickly in the next few minutes. But 80 plus majors and minors housed within our 4 different academic colleges: arts and sciences, business, engineering, and nursing. So when you apply to Villanova, you're applying into one of those 4 buckets. Sometimes you'll pick a major, sometimes you won't. For arts, you're just applying in generally, and you pick your major later on. Same with business. For nursing, the only major is nursing. So if you apply to the nursing school, you are a nursing major. For engineering, you are going to apply directly into your major, whether that's chemical, electrical, mechanical, civil, or computer. I'm very proud of myself for saying all of them. Sometimes I miss one. And then, yes, I think I've mentioned all of them. Sciences, you can pick a major, or you can apply into one of our selected sciences or exploratory sciences. 50% of our students will have a major and a minor. You can mix and match. We are still a liberal arts-based education. So you could be a finance major with Spanish minor, or you could be, an engineering major with a global health minor. If you talk to many of our students, they probably have a handful. We really make it easy to kind of mix and match in that way. Okay, a lot of people are getting involved in research. Even at the undergraduate level, we have a freshman match program that can help you get involved in research as early as the second semester of your freshman year. Anyone can be a, researcher at Villanova. I'm going to breeze through this since I have 20 seconds to go. Lots to be involved in, over 260 clubs and organizations. We've got some big basketball games coming up. So lots of school spirit for a medium-sized school. Lots to get involved with, but definitely feel free to reach out to me after this. Hopefully we can set aside some time to chat later on if you're interested. I'll just throw up some dates and deadlines, 4 different ways to apply, 2 non-binding rounds, early action and regular decision, and then early decision 1 and early decision 2. So I'll put my email in the chat. So definitely reach out to me if you want to have a longer conversation about any of these things. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, at this point, I'd like to welcome everyone back onto screen so we can hear from our presenters one more time. Awesome. Thank you. So we're going to go back through the order that you all presented in. And I'd like to ask, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process, either now or shortly in the future? And we'll jump with Purdue University first.
Yeah, thanks for that question. So my piece of advice is to find an organization system that works best for you. So you're going to be receiving a lot of great information, and that part of the college process can be overwhelming in and of itself. So if you just find some type of system that works so that as you're receiving this information, and if you have the time then and there to review it, you can really start making your piles based on your priorities and what you're looking for and what your expectations are out of this next step for you. And one particular piece of advice, especially with the emails, maybe consider creating a specific email for this part of your next journey. So like a college specific email, so you're not getting it sent to your high school email and then, things get lost in that shuffle, or your personal email either.
Awesome. Thank you. Lafayette College, what is your advice?
Yes, thank you. So I would say to make sure that you have the really important conversations with your family about what are your values, perhaps what are their values in terms of what college you go to, thinking about the location, and most importantly, especially in the world we're in right now, the cost. So understanding what is the threshold that your family is going to be able to provide, whether that's you, extended family, or whomever. It's always really heartbreaking to have conversations way late in the game, and a student is not able to attend because that family hasn't had that conversation. So it can be very difficult, but it's going to be the first of many. So to ensure that you have that in whatever support system you have with you, you are having those kind of exchanges early on. And you can always also reach out to whomever is the person who runs your particular location or area. So DMB, connecting with us. And we're also happy to have those kind of conversations with you and families as well.
Thank you so much. Stevenson University.
I would say try probably to connect with as many people at the university as possible. So obviously your admissions counselor is kind of your first go-to person and kind of your constant person throughout the entire process, but try to see if they can connect you with some current students, maybe in a club that you're interested in. Connect with some athletic coaches if you want to go into athletics, or even some of the professors in your major. Maybe you're torn between a couple different majors. Try to reach out to a few different professors, see if you can get, I guess, a little bit of information from each of them about each of the majors, and even see if you can shadow a class. Obviously, some universities might not be allowing that with COVID, so it's just a little bit dependent, but definitely make sure you're trying to connect with a lot of different people.
Wonderful. Thank you. Washington and Lee University.
Yeah, I think mine would be, and this is somewhat based on my own college experience, which now feels a while back, but don't rule anything out right away, right? I think at this point, as you're considering the variety in just a session, right, of different types of universities and sizes, go and see as many as you can, right? If you have the opportunity, if it presents itself, some universities have programs that will bring you to campus. Take advantage of all of those, right? I did not think I wanted to be at a small university in a fairly rural area. I was looking at a lot of cities, and WNL kind of snuck up on me very late. So again, just keep your options open, because sometimes you don't know exactly what you'll love until you get to see it in person or have that experience maybe one-on-one with an admissions rep or a current student or something like that. So don't narrow yourself too early, I would say, is probably my piece of advice.
Thank you. Miami University.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you all, I'm going to suggest that you take a deep breath and relax. This process, while stressful, should also be fun, and it should be a time of growth and learning about yourself. I guarantee everyone here will get into college. There's a different path for everyone. It's not always a 4-year school, or it's not always direct to a 4-year school. So take a deep breath, relax, reach out to us with questions, but really enjoy your time in high school as well.
Thank you so much. And Villanova, what is your advice?
I'll keep mine quick since we're at 70:45, but definitely have fun, be the driver of your own experience, and yeah, just enjoy the process, because this is the first maybe major decision you get to make for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. So now we're going to wrap things up here. Thank you so much to our participants for being with us. Thank you to our presenters for all the information you've put together and brought and spent the evening here with us today. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback you can provide. We do encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions. There's one more this evening, but don't forget, if you've missed any or want to watch one again, all of the recordings will be available at strivescan.com/AIMS. Thank you so much and have a great evening. Bye.
Thank you.